I'm Architect Hiten Kakadiya from Aayam Architects. We have started our firm in 2008, and since then we are consciously working with the alternate building materials such as rammed stone construction, wooden roofing systems, and earth block constructions. And we are also trying to amalgate our ancestral knowledge with the present needs, and we try to combine both and create a contemporary architecture with the help of our ancestral knowledge. It was not a one point where I got connected with the art. Like there are many stages in my life. Like during my childhood, I spent a lot of my vacations with my grandfather in our ancestral village, like in Saurashtra. So Saurashtra is a very strong cultural base. So it has somehow introduced, or it has unconsciously connects me with the strong cultural bonds. So during my childhood, I get connected with the cultural aspects, and after that, like in second phase of my life, when we are in a college at IPSA, which is also situated in a Rajkot in Saurashtra. So they mostly they used to give a lot of importance to the rural life. We used to do a lot of case studies, related study programs in the villages of Saurashtra. So during that time, again, I got a chance to connect with the rural life, rural culture, and that is also during that time we have gone through lot of arts and literature, like which also helps me in and when you read some interesting literature, it also helps you in molding your thoughts, or it also add connections to the local culture, because literature is also a very important part of the any culture. So in Saurashtra you find very rich heritage culture. तो आपको वहाँ पे लोक संगीत मिलेगा, लोक साहित्य मिलेगा. सो ये जो सब चीज़ें हैं वो मोस्टली लोगों के तरफ से आती है. तो इट इज़ वेरी मच रूटेड इन देयर कल्चर. सो इन सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ माई लाइफ ये कल्चरल बिलीफ सिस्टम और उसके साथ हम लोग थोड़े नज़दीक आए. देन इन द थर्ड पार्ट विच लीड्स मी टू द हुनरशाला फाउंडेशन इन कच्छ. अगेन कच्छ इज़ अ वेरी culturally very strong place. So when I was working with Hunarshala, I have got a chance to work with lot of artists, artisans and master artisans. Like many of them are coming from the village sites, because and in Kutch, if you'll go from one village to another village, you'll find different kind of art or the crafts. So वो टाइम पे हमने काफ़ी सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स में लाइक वी हैव कोलैबोरेटेड विद द आर्टिस्ट एंड आर्टिजन्स, एंड वी हैव स्टार्टेड क्रिएटिंग सम आर्किटेक्चरल एलिमेंट्स फ्रॉम द लोकल और डे टू डे लाइफ हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स. सो इन दैट पार्ट वी हैव लाइक जो थर्ड पार्ट था, तो उसमें हमने काफ़ी सारे कनेक्शंस बनाए आर्टिजन्स के साथ. सो दैट इज़ गिवन अ लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस फॉर माई पर्सनल practice. So after that, I have started my firm in 2008. तो because of this background and उसकी वजह से हमने काफ़ी सारे आर्टिजन्स के साथ कनेक्शंस बनाए थे, काफ़ी सारा आर्ट को समझा था, काफ़ी सारे क्राफ्ट्स को समझे थे. सो वी आर अगेन प्रैक्टिसिंग दोज जो वहाँ पे जो भी सीखा था वो हम अभी आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं एज एन आयाम. To me, it's very deep thing, because it always adds to the soul, to the non-living things. Like as an architect, we mostly build things which are non-living, and when you use some art, it started creating some dialogues. It started creating it started creating emotions into the space. So to me, the art, whatever art you are using, whether it comes from the local artist or it comes from the contemporary artist, it always add to the quality of the space. And here I wanted to share some of the experience of like our recent project. Like in one of our residential project, we have created one ramdath wall, which is the highest standalone wall in the India. Okay, but instead of talking about that wall, like people started talking about the one painting that we have created with the help of some artists, which is a Goan painting. It is called Mayurudan. So we have created a Mayurudan on one of the boundary wall. So it has take over our architectural elements, which is a very strong element. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि like when people given options कि आपने कहीं पे कुछ आर्किटेक्चर खड़ा किया है एंड यू विल आल्सो प्लेस सम पेंटिंग और यू प्लेस सम म्यूरल, so they'll try to connect more with the art or crafts because it comes from the normal person too. So वो उनके साथ बहुत ही रिलेट कर पाते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ की जो आर्किटेक्चर which has a lot of complexity. So instead of connecting with those elements, they'll try to connect with the art or the craft that you provide in the building. As I told you earlier that we are like after leaving Hunarshala when I started my practice in 2008, since then we are almost in each and every project we used to work with different artisans or different artists. So like if I'll talk about one of this project that I have talked earlier, Mayurudan, so which is a painting about the Krishna's feather. So we have created the around 20 feet wide painting on the boundary wall of the house, and we started doing conversations about those historical importance or why Mayur feather, like why peacock feather is used for the Krishna's mugat. So uh, so it has become so important in that house that almost all the small or medium ceremony of those clients family started happening around that space. So it has created a lot of interest in clients mind, and also it has created a space which can be used as a background of any interesting activity. Secondly, we like in our office, most of we right now in our present office, we have created a one painting with the Matani Pachedi. It is called Nav Durga. We have asked the artist to create a Nav Durga for us, which has been placed on the entrance for. So whenever a client came to our office, he mostly posed over there, and he started observing things that what and our meeting starts from the poir only. Like whenever they stop there, I'll go there. They ask me that what is this like, so I'll again start explaining him that this is a Nav Durga, it is a Matani Pachedi, the painting style is Matani Pachedi. Actual artist does not draw all the deities, but we ask him to add some of the deities because we don't want to create a particular kind of religious impact. So we ask him to add like Saraswati into their painting, which he has never done before. But Puras he made Saraswati in Matani Pachedi com. So when we start creating, when we start talking about those things, a client obviously got very much interested into the art, whether they are coming for the different purpose. Like they whenever they come, they do not have a if they come for the first time, they do not have a fixed agenda. So this kind of meeting starts with this kind of conversation, and mostly it has like it produces some positive outputs. So I find that like this kind of paintings or this kind of art pieces always create very interesting conversations, and it also alters person's mind. in continuation from the last question, like you add like if as a designer, if you start using this kind of arts or crafts in your own workplace, it always makes a first impact. So I do not have to advocate for the using of the any art pieces or craft, because we are living into those spaces. And in like we have two offices. One office we have in Ahmedabad, and we have another studio in Kutch. So in both the studio spaces or workspaces, we never kept our ongoing projects work on display. Instead of doing that, we always keep uh, anything which has been hand drawn. Like we mostly we try to procure from different artists or artisans, and we always in our office you'll find different kind of paintings or sculptures over there. So the first impact when they came to our office, it always like consciously or unconsciously it goes into their mind. So in most of the time we don't have to advocate the for the yes. And for the budget, like as I told you that we are closely working with the craft roots, who is also attached to the different artists and artisans. So whenever they do not have a requirement of like particular art advisor, then we ourselves try to help them in either procuring the art or creating the art. But in some of our project, like we are right now we are doing one institute in Rajasthan, in Banswara in Rajasthan. It is a tribal it is an institute for the tribals, and we have appointed one museologist. She is working as a curator for us, and she is helping us in setting up a tribal museum. So depending on the project, we try to like incorporate art, like art and even the advisor. I personally believe that it like obviously it differs from project to project, like nature of the project, but it mostly depends on the person. Because if client has a inclination or awareness towards the art, it doesn't make any difference whether he is building a commercial building or he is doing a private house, because that awareness he needs to have, like then so we mostly work on the those inclinations. So for me, it doesn't make any difference whether you are doing the institute or a commercial building or a office or a residence. It always depends on the person, like the client. Yeah. Whenever we source something, like because it's a handmade, like whether it's a painting or it's a sculpture or it's a mural, it's handmade, so it adds value to the product. Like in recent days, we are started losing our sensibility as like as an human. So whenever we use something which is made from hand, it always add to the value to that product. And like as I said that uh, particular like person, like art advisor or a museologist or a art curator will always help, because as a designer sometimes I do not have a uh, knowledge about the different area or different style of paintings, or how should I go, like what kind of prices one painting has or something like that. So like as I said कि जो हमने एक म्यूजियोलॉजिस्ट अपॉइंट किया है, तो शी इज़ गोइंग इन डीपर इनटू द हिस्ट्री. Like whenever she is suggesting us about procuring something, she goes very much deeper into the history of that art. Like like वो जो स्टाइल है पेंटिंग का वो कहाँ से आया, how is it related to the that particular tribe or a particular person. So it always helps when you try when you curate for a specific purpose. Like we have created many pieces of art, but we are still waiting for the that outstanding piece, and we are working towards it. But one thing is very clear in my mind, that what we wanted to create. Like I was always fascinated. I'm always fascinated about the thing that how art, literature, and architecture is mixed to create, like if you wanted to create something outstanding, you can take help of all these three things and you can create a very interesting things. Like I wanted to give us one example for that. Like during my college days, I used to study Dr. Sigmund Freud. He was the like father of the surrealism. He gave a theory of surrealism. So it is, you can call it is a part of literature. But uh, with the help of that literature, Salvador Dali, he created some fantastic paintings. It is based on the theory of surrealism. So so the literature and art, they combine, like they've taken inspiration from each other. And at the later stage, I found the work of Antonio Body, and I can also relate it to the surrealism. So how one theory can change the mind of the people, change the way how people thinks. So that always fascinates me. That we wanted to create something that that has some part of literature, some part of art. So basically, it has a cultural influence. That's a difficult question, because nowadays, like uh, if you look into the history, uh, our way of living was very much attached with the crafts, many of the crafts, because it was a like a very integral part of our lifestyle. Like if you'll see a old house, you'll find some calendars which has a painting of Raja Ravi Verma. Okay, but yeah, right now you don't find even those prints around you. So somehow we have lost that way of life. But as a designer, we can always start putting some original arts to, even if you are using a one small piece of art, that's also fine. But start using it, even in a smaller scale. Then you'll get sometimes you'll get a better projects, or better opportunity to display the bigger paintings, or bigger art, or bigger sculpture. So I think you can uh, you can start with the using small artifacts or arts, and start creating ripples which can be converted into the bigger waves in future.